Alright, I know I just talked about how I haven't been posting in a while, but screw it. 2 videos, I guess. So, I remember making episode 3 of Stupid Rants. Dark Souls is so hard. Yeah, I hate that video. Gonna be honest here. I think it's time that I actually think about what I've been saying. So, Dark Souls. What is it? It's a pretty popular video game, probably one of the more popular RPGs. So, the main gimmick of Dark Souls, I'd say, well, not the gimmick, but like the main draw for a lot of people is its difficulty. A lot of people claim it's one of the hardest video games ever, that it's like a game that only professional gamers can play, and that if you beat Dark Souls, then you're a true mad lad or some dumb crap like that. I'm here to tell you what they're saying is a crock of shit. Why? Well, because Dark Souls, despite being a very skill-based game, you can't get anywhere by just mindlessly button mashing, for example. It's not difficult per se. There's a lot of things that you should be more attentive to, but that's not difficulty, that's just, again, being skill-based. I think the issue a lot of people have with Dark Souls is inherently this kind of semi-toxic community it attracts. The sort of people who believe that beating Halo on legendary difficulty is a true achievement, and that anyone who does it is a professional gamer, when in all reality, if you do that, you're just a masochist. And they sort of are attracted to video games that require a lot of patience, right? It's also a game that's very rife for streamers, that is a very watch me get the crap beaten out of me and laugh videos, I guess I could say. Now, am I saying that Dark Souls is a bad game? No, it's probably one of the best games I've ever played. What I will say, however, is that the community behind it can be a bunch of assholes. But, much like any community out there, there's good people. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of good people. From people who like to give walkthroughs of the game to people who don't know what they're doing, to people like YMCAH or something. I cannot remember his current channel right now. He likes doing dumb challenges and generally just memeing about because, let's be honest here, Dark Souls isn't some sacred cow that saved the RPG industry. So, let's be honest, you can make jokes about it. As a matter of fact, people do make jokes about it. And as I said, the community that isn't a bunch of horrible people will really be positive people who just want to talk about a game they personally enjoy. Because there's a lot of things to enjoy about Dark Souls other than its difficulty. For example, the gloomy atmosphere of its world, which is mixed with its surreal beauty. The music is ungodly in a good way. And just generally the fact that it's one of the few video games I've seen where you can just make all of these different theories about the world itself from reading an item description. I feel like when people say that Dark Souls is so hard, what they're doing is trivializing the beautiful aspects about the game and putting it basically in a wood chipper. It would be like saying that Monster Hunter is so hard and that's the main reason why you should ever play the games. Because Monster Hunter and Dark Souls, surprisingly enough, are very similar types of games. It's like kind of ridiculous how similar the combat in Dark Souls can sometimes feel to the combat in Monster Hunter. Obviously, in Monster Hunter, you're able to do Dark Souls combat, but you're zooming around at the speed of sound, and it's boss fights basically all the time. But Monster Hunter doesn't attract such a sort of audience, I assume, because people think that Monster Hunter is a more kid-friendly franchise because of all the colorful monsters and all the beautiful music. I don't know. I just personally think that it's kind of led to this toxic sort of reputation among gamers. Those types that unironically believe that you need to have this many items invested in a video game, this much money spent on video games, and have these certain games beaten in order to be considered a real gamer. Everyone knows that copy pasta of the guy who said that Mario wasn't a real video game, that Pokemon weren't real games, stuff like that, and that putting hours in a and putting 100 hours into a video game is not a ridiculous thing. It's not a ridiculous standard for people who have a lot of video games, you know? Everyone knows that guy because he's an asshole and no one likes him. He's that sort of guy who will be the most stereotypical gamer you can imagine. A fat, smelly guy who lives in his mom's basement, or attic, who talks so much about the specs of his PC and how much it costs, but never actually does anything important with it. The sort of guy that will trash people for not being good at a game because they've only spent 30 hours in it while he spent 3,000. Those are the sort of people who are attracted to games like Dark Souls because those are another game that they can use to try to emasculate themselves, and they can try to claim that it's a real man's game and that anyone who doesn't play Dark Souls is a pussy. And they act like just because they've beaten Dark Souls 5 times that they must have bragging rights because they're trying to make up for the ineptitude they have in their real life. I feel like the issue with these people is that they drive away people from the gaming industry, and these sort of people just generally just radiate this horrible aura around them. I'm not one of those people who believe they could sense people's auras or some crap like that. I just don't. However, you can tell just from the way someone thinks about certain video games how they generally think about people as a whole. I feel like these guys need to chill out a lot more, and they should learn to, I don't know, play other video games. Stop being such an entitled prick all the time. Stop assuming that beating a video game is equivalent to doing something great, like graduating college or whatever. It's just not. So yeah, Engineer Zero out, I guess. See ya.